this is the part that pissed me off. The girl next to me was so dramatic. Like, I'm trying not to cuss. Hello, people. So I am out of surgery now. Well, I guess you guys already know that. I think Dinshay vlogged a little bit earlier, but it's been about, it's 11:34, and I think Dinshay picked me up. What time you picked me up?
It says it's been like 5.5 hours.
Well, no, like what time did you pick me up from the place? It wasn't 7.
Almost like 6:30.
6:30? Yeah, because I took my medicine at 7 here.
Yeah, 6:30.
So she picked me up from Unique at about 6:30, and it's now 11:30. I'm gonna just walk you guys through a couple things.
But you were done like an hour before I used to.
So I was out of surgery around 5:30. I got picked up around 6:30. I'm gonna try to cover a couple things in this video. I'm gonna try to cover the waking up, getting here, getting picked up, getting here, and then using the restroom. So, or actually, let's go back a little further and discuss when Dinshay left.
Or waking up. Oh yeah.
When she left, it was basically because Dr. Fisher had come in. He had marked me up. And he told me, you know, the next person that was gonna come in that I would see would be the anesthesiologist. So we sat in there for like another maybe 15-20 minutes talking, and then the anesthesiologist came in there and got me, basically kicked her out, so she left. And that is when the nerves kicked in, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know why I thought that I was gonna get my anesthesia like in like the room I was in all day, pretty much like a quiet little room with like a recliner chair and like whatever. But he literally walked me into the operating room. I literally laid down by myself on the table. It was like a cross basically, so it was a long table, and then it had 2 things poking out the side for my arms. And so I saw all the lights. Now he did take my glasses off, so I couldn't really see. I'm blind as a bat, y'all, so I couldn't really see exactly what I was looking at, but I saw like the table, I saw the machines, I saw the light, and that freaked me out. So I laid down on the table, and you know, he was just talking to me, trying to like, you know, keep me calm and stuff. And I had to answer all the questions again, like about my medical history. Like literally every person you see is gonna ask you the same thing over and over. Like, are you allergic to anything? Do you have any medical history? Have you ever had this? Have you ever had that? And like literally for me, everything is no. So we went over that, and then he came and started poking me in the arm. He did have to poke me twice. The first time he said my veins were deep. So he had me like kind of drop my arm down off the thing to where my arm was hanging, and he poked me again. That time he got it. Now, my retarded self, I'm thinking as soon as I feel the pinch, like the anesthesia's coming. So I was like waiting to not like pass out, but he had just connected the needle. He didn't actually connect the IV yet. So he talked to me for like another 5 minutes. He was behind my head though, and I had my eyes like squeezed shut tight. Like, I don't know, like I said, that's when the nerves kicked in. I was very scared. Like, I remember thinking in my head, like, girl, scream and tell them you don't want to do it no more. And so, anyways, he came around, and then finally I heard the dreaded words of, okay, this is gonna burn a little bit. And literally it burned a lot of it. Like, I have never experienced a burning feeling on the inside of my body like that before, but it definitely, like, I could feel it going from my wrist, because he ended up putting my IV lower, so he put it in my wrist. I could feel it going from my wrist to my elbow, and then I was like, I think I made a noise. I was like, ooh, 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 and he was like, it's just gonna be for a second. And then that's when I knocked out. Like, I didn't get the nice little question of, oh, how many kids do you have? And by the time I get answered, you know, I'm out. Like, or count to 10, and by the time I get to 3, I'm out. No, like, it was like, ooh, 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 out. Like, simple as that. And then, of course, I was out. When I woke up, I think what actually woke me up was I was shaking. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was not really freezing cold. I didn't feel like I was freezing cold. I didn't have my clothes on either. All I had on was my faja. I thought I was gonna wake up in my clothes, but I woke up in my faja and a bunch of blankets. Like, they were big warm blankets, and there was like a heater on me. Now, I was shaking, and that was irritating because it was literally like I couldn't stop myself from shaking. So I started breathing. I was kind of coaching myself, like, sis, like, you gotta get through this. Like, I was like, okay, breathe in through your nose, out your mouth. Like, literally, I'm glad that I have like the knowledge just from like dancing and my background and stuff like that, like, to know like to breathe and take it slow. Because the post-op nurse, she wasn't in there with me at that time, but like the room I was in, I didn't get to see how it was set up because, again, I didn't have my glasses on. But I could hear other girls, like, they were right next to me, like, but there was a curtain between all of us. And so I remember like shaking, and then once I started doing my deep inhales and exhales, that's when she must have realized I was awake, and she came in there. And she asked me, was I okay? I needed to turn my neck, but I didn't have enough strength. So she had to like pick my head up and turn it for me because my neck was hurting. And so she did that. And then, this is the part that pissed me off. The girl next to me was so dramatic. Like, I'm trying not to cuss since this is going on a vlog, but she was so dramatic. And like, I'm the type of person that when I'm in pain or when I don't feel good, I just want silence. Like, I don't talk to me, don't ask me how do I feel. Like, I just want silence and just to breathe. And I hear her over there, like, she was loud. So it was making me like anxious. Like, it was literally giving me anxiety. Like, I felt, because I had kind of got my shaking to stop a little bit from breathing in and out. And the moment she started that shit, I was shaking like a dog. Like, I was like, oh, I was thinking, sis, you gotta be quiet, you gotta be quiet. And literally, like, at that point, I started like calling on Jesus for real. Like, I wasn't in pain. Still, I wasn't really in pain, but I was just shaking uncontrollably. And in the room when I was getting the anesthesia, that like helped me. I am a firm believer of Jesus, and I was like praying, not really praying a prayer, but like when I was in there and I had got nervous, I just kept saying like, okay, God, like, you got this, God, like, you brought me, you know, to this point. Everything has been smooth. I have been praying through this point. Like, I know you're gonna make sure everything is okay. And I just kept saying like, you know, God, like, just take care of me and stuff. And that was when I was getting my anesthesia. So when sis started hollering in the room, I was like talking to God again. I was just like, Jesus, like, please help me, like, heal my body quickly. I was calling out Jehovah Rapha, which means, you know, God, the God that heals. I was like, God, like, I know that you got me, like, just help me to handle this. Because, like, I didn't want to rely on nurses. I didn't want to rely on, you know, whatever. I was just like, you know, Elena, you need to breathe, and like, God's got it from there. So that's what I did. Do y'all know that sis was doing the most, so much to the point that they came and took my heater, like warming pad, whatever thing it was, I didn't see it, but it was like blowing warm air. It wasn't just like a heating pad, it was like actually blowing warm air under my blanket. They came and took it from me and gave it to her because of how much she was hot. I don't know if she had one or if it's like a shared kind of concept or what, but literally because I wasn't being dramatic, it failed me. Like, I should have been hollering and screaming, and then they would have left me with my heater. So I was just like, whatever. At that point, I was telling myself like, okay, Elena, like, you need to breathe in and out so that, because the anesthesia hadn't worn off all the way. And they told me, like, I remember the nurse had told me in Deshay earlier on, she was like, if you clench up, like, it's gonna hurt more and it's gonna take longer. And she was absolutely right. Like, the moment that, like, I would feel myself, like, clenching up, you know, just because of the shaking and stuff, I was like, ooh, don't do that, like, stop. So I was like, okay, breathe in and breathe out. And literally, as I would exhale, I could feel my body, like, getting less tense, so to say. So anyway, she had told me, like, she called Deshay my friend. She was like, your friend is on the way. And I was like, bitch, that's my sister. And so she was like, she's on the way and stuff. So then anyways, fast forward, she ends up saying, okay, she's about to be here. Like, I had to push myself up with my arms. And at that point, the anesthesia was worn off a lot more. So I was able to, like, use some of my strength. I pushed myself up off the table to where I was on my knees. And then I had to, like, crawl backwards to her, put one foot down, put the other foot down. And then I had to get dressed. So I showed y'all in the supplies video my outfit that I'm wearing now. It's a two-piece pants and a button-up shirt. So she basically put the pants over my feet, you know, or put my feet in the pants, and then she pulled them up, and then she sat me down in the wheelchair and buttoned up my shirt. And so that was fine. I had brought my robe, thank God. I had my robe on too, so she put that on over this, so that I was able to put my big hood on, because my robe has like a super big, like, loose hood, because I wanted to, like, cover my face up. Not so much because I was embarrassed, but more so because of the light. Like, I didn't want to see the light. Everything was blurry because I still didn't have my glasses. And so, like, I don't like looking, like, when I don't have my glasses on, because it's, like, pointless. I can't see, and it, like, makes my head hurt. So I put my hood on, and I was just looking down. We got on the elevator, went outside. Deshay was there. We had brought a step stool, like a little two-step ladder for me to use to try to crawl into the back of the SUV. But I didn't end up using that. I ended up just putting one foot down on, like, the floor of the SUV, and then the nurse lifted my other leg up onto the air mattress, because I did have the air mattress. And so the ride home was pretty cool. I was ready to get here because I was ready to not have my legs bent in the car anymore. So I was ready to get out. Getting out of the car was okay. It was pretty cool. And then whenever we got to the Airbnb, we had to, like, get on the elevator again, walk down the hallway, and we came inside. From there, I told Deshay, oh, like, the anesthesia had worn off. I was like, I need meds. So I started eating, I ate pineapples and grapes. That was all I wanted. I wanted something kind of light, just enough for me to, like, eat it quickly, take meds so I could lay down. So I had eaten up some pineapple chunks that we had bought, and the grapes that were in there, and I immediately drunk like half a thing of Gatorade, and I took my medicine. I ended up getting oxycodone. I don't know, what we're gonna figure that out tomorrow. I know I was supposed to have Percocets. It's the same, the oxycodone was working fine, but I guess the pharmacy didn't have Percocets, so they gave me oxycodone instead. And then I have a stool softener, and I have an antibiotic. And then for nausea, I don't know if this was the doctor's office that supplied this or if this was the pharmacy effing up again, but it was a suppository. So Deshay's gonna ask them about that tomorrow, because it's like, how do you, like, this has to be the pharmacy's mistake, because no way that they're gonna give me a suppository when I can't, like, my faja, literally, I can't even, like, really access my butthole. And then, like, why would I want to shove something up my butthole when I just got, like, my butt beat to death? Like, no thank you. So anyways, luckily I don't feel nauseous, so I don't even care. I don't need it. But I took that. We went in there and I lay down. I made a couple phone calls, like, to my husband, and made sure my sister called my mama and stuff. And then I, like, told him I was gonna go to sleep. So I went to sleep. I did wake up and I told Disha I needed to pee. So going to pee was okay. Like, I really feel like the Cell Saver has helped me so much. Like, I really have felt okay this whole time. Like, even from the moment I woke up, like, I really wasn't sure if I had a high pain tolerance or not. I'm like, I don't know. I've never really, like, experienced anything, you know, traumatic or, like, really, like, painful. So I was like, I don't know. And I've been told I've been dramatic, like, when I'm, like, sore from the gym and stuff, I've been kind of dramatic. But I think I just really put my mind to it this time of, like, no, like, I don't want to put that type of pressure on Denshay. And then also, like, I just wanted to be good. Like, I want to get through this quickly. So I think I kind of had it in my mind to, like, you know, do what I had to do. So the walking has been okay. I think the only pain that I really felt like is as the anesthesia wore off, and then a little while ago with my pain meds, when it was time for me to take medicine again, you feel like the tightness in your butt. Like, I wouldn't really, I mean, I guess you could describe it as sore, but it really just feels tight. Like, it feels like if I'm trying to squeeze my butt cheeks together to, like, hold something in my butt crack. And, like, obviously after so long that would begin to hurt, you know. So that's really what it feels like. But anyway, so I told Disha I had to use the restroom. So we got up, same thing. I just have to lift my body up. And then crawl backwards to the edge of the bed. I have been doing what Dr. Fisher told me to do, which is sit for about 60 seconds on my backside before I stand up. Just me personally, because I don't want to sit on my butt that much. Like, I've kind of did more of like a leaning up against the bed to where, like, my thighs mainly are, like, laying on the, you know, up against the bed, and my butt is a little lifted out, so I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on my butt. But I'm like, you know, it's enough for me to sit there, keep my head up, and, like, you know, make sure that I'm not dizzy and good, and then we walk. And most of the times when we walk with Dishay right in front of me and my two hands on her shoulders. That way, if I start to fall or something, like, I can fall on her. But I haven't experienced any, like, fainting or lightheadedness, so I've been okay. Once we get in the restroom, she usually, like, will pull my pants down for me all the way down to my ankles so that I can move my knees, like, and open my legs as wide as I can. And I do sit on the toilet. I pretty much come to the edge of the toilet. I haven't used my urinal because Dr. Fisher did tell me to sit while I pee because he doesn't want me to faint. So I usually sit kind of more so towards the edge of the toilet, and she put a glove on me, and she's using her gloves, and I, like, basically put my hand in between my legs on the toilet and, like, use that to hold myself as I sit back. And then once I'm, like, sitting down, the same thing. It's like I am kind of on my butt, but I'm mainly on my thighs. Then I go pee, and then I wipe. And then Shay helps me, like, get my pants pulled back up and everything, and it's really not that bad. Like, peeing is okay. I'm sure I'm pissing all over this faja. Like, I'm almost positive of it, because I don't know, like, the hole is there, yes, and I'm opening my legs, but I just feel like I've got to have pee on my faja down there. Like, it's just, I have to, I'm sure. But anyway, so I went pee once. I had already taken my messy 7. Yeah, I had already taken my meds at 7, so I just got back in the bed. I walked around a little bit. I was told to try to walk around and move as much as possible, so I walked around a little bit. She's had to drain my drain probably like 3 times. I don't know if you can see this. It's down here though. She's had to drain it like 2 or 3 times, and that doesn't, I don't feel anything when she drains it, literally, like, I don't feel a thing. And so I ended up, after I peed the first time, I went back in the bed, went back to sleep, and then I just woke up at about 10:50. I had to pee again. And the thing that I recommend and what I'm doing is, like, the moment that I feel like, okay, I need to pee, I get up and try to go right there, because it's a process, getting up, sitting there, making sure I'm not dizzy, walking, all of that. Like, so by the time I get to the toilet, like, I gotta pee for real. Like, so it's perfect. Like, I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, I gotta pee, so I'm trying to hold it and stuff and, like, make my way. So as soon as you get the urge that you need to pee, go ahead and start making your way to the restroom. Other than that, like I said, this second time I woke up to pee, we went to go pee first. We did that whole process again. And then we came here into the kitchen so that I could eat. So what I've been eating, the first time, like I said, I had pineapples and grapes. This time I've been eating Cheerios, like just without milk, just eating dry Cheerios. I love that. That has been the best. Like I don't know, I don't even know, like I don't even eat Cheerios like that, but just being able to eat them, that's good. And then she cut up a banana for me, and I had a banana. Yeah, and now I'm drinking Body Armor. Having a straw, y'all, is very important. I'm so glad I saw that video where that girl told me that, because without a straw, I don't know how I would have made it. Like, I'm not trying to put my head back, and so it's easier just to sip from my straw, and so I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, so my first massage is tomorrow at 12. And they told me to take my medication about 30 minutes before, which luckily for me, I'm like right on schedule because I just took medicine at 11. Did I take? No, I took medicine. Did I take medicine at 11? Yeah, it was like 11 something. So 11, and then I'll take medicine at 3. And then 7. And then 11, wait, 7, yeah, at 11. So like, I'll probably try to take it like a little after 11, thug it out to like 11:30, so that way it'll hit me right before the massage. That's another thing I'm not looking forward to. I think I was most worried about waking up, and I was most worried about that massage. Those are the two things I was worried about being the most painful. So waking up wasn't too bad. Hopefully I can thug it out in the massage too. I'm very, very proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like I'm doing really good for day one. Like I said, that could be due to the cell saver, but I've also been making myself drink a lot of fluids, making sure I take my medicine like right. I think I took my medicine like 10:50, so actually a little bit before 11, like before it actually wears all the way off. And then also walking, like every time I get up to pee, I tell Densha like, hey, take me for a walk around the kitchen and then back to the room, which is why I'm, when I was looking for Airbnb, I wanted something spacious. The restroom is really big, so I'm not bumping into stuff. The hallways to the room and the restroom are big, and then the kitchen is very wide and open, so I can, move around through here comfortably without, feeling like I gotta squeeze through or like I'm gonna hit something. So yeah, I just ate the Cheerios and the banana. I wanted to, vlog and come and tell you guys before I forget little things, or, just really while I'm here, so you can see how I'm feeling and how I'm doing okay, on day one. And so, I just, hopefully I'll sleep, and then she'll probably wake me up at 3. My next time I take medicine, I need to get up and move around. I was gonna say I may just like have her let me lay there and like eat something from bed, but I'm gonna try to get up every time so I can move around. Like, you do feel better when you move around some. And then I'll take the meds. I'll probably have to pee then again anyway. So, but I'm doing good, and yeah, I'm like, I feel like the hardest part is over, which is the surgery itself, and then the ride home, and then like the first day, the first night. I gotta see about this massage, and then from there we should be all uphill. So yeah, we'll see. I'm about to have her come take me for a walk, and then get back in the bed, and I'll probably call Kendrick back again and just talk to him until I fall asleep. So, alright guys, I will see you soon.